What's poppin', y'all? JiDion has found himself in a situation where he's given us the gift of a real-time manifestation of a Dave Chappelle joke. And this all starts and centers around our favorite, and by favorite I'm completely being sarcastic, our Man of the Year, Times Magazine's Man of the Year, or Goofy of the Year actually, that's who they should be awarding, Chud the Builder. Yes, Chud the Builder, the guy that was just yelling expletives, trying to get somebody to attack him so he would have the opportunity to let bullets fly. And let bullets fly he did in front of a courthouse. One of those bullets hit him as well. So now he's sitting in a cage, hopefully thinking about what he's going to do next. Hopefully he's not chimping out in the cage, jumping at the bars and shaking at them. But JiDion, he has a collaborator named Alex Rosen. So this guy, Alex Rosen, he was one of the people that was supporting Chud. He donated $15,000 to Chud's GoFundMe that he had, which was in play long before he got arrested. This was, I think, when he lost his job or something like that. And to be clear, Chud got banned from Kick very, very quickly. He went to stream on Pump Fun. So a lot of people are trying to throw this on Kick. We have to be fair. Some French guy did get damn near tortured. Well, he did. He got tortured to death on Kick. This French streamer, that whole thing was a huge cover-up. And I'm not going to say Kick is responsible, but that happened on Kick, and those were Kick streamers. But Chud, he got taken out of Kick long before anybody got into a physical altercation. But JiDion would address this because the most recent pred catch that they did that went ultra viral was the looks maxing dude Hullo that got caught with insane amounts of CSAM and also animal stuff. It was brutal. But JiDion already addressed this in May 20th, which was several weeks ago, about how he was no longer going to work with Alex Rosen, who did the original pred catch on EDP, which they fumbled, weren't able to get EDP arrested. But after that, that guy really, he sharpened up his game, Alex Rosen. And JiDion would address this after the donation was made.
Me personally, man, I talked about it with my fiance. I got a lot of love for Alex, but with this Chud stuff, it's one thing just on Twitter say you support, but when you drop $10,000 on something like that, I am going to support. If he needs help exposing a police station or anything like that, if it's something about the mission, I will gladly repost, gladly share, whatever, man. But I really can't see myself working with Alex in the future. I'm gonna be real.
So first off, he was talking to his fiance about this. His fiance, I believe she's an Asian woman. So I do believe that JiDion's fiance had an influence on the decision that he made, but shortly after, he would explain why he was now going to separate from Alex Rosen.
It comes to a point, it's different where it's someone's opinion, and then, you're donating $10,000. You guys can say parasocial, but chat, I can't get mad at, because, bro, I would be a hypocrite if, obviously this is way two different things, right? But I would be the biggest hypocrite if I would be like, yo, Jeff, why are you, being by the side of freaking Hollow when he just got done doing this? And granted, I know it's two completely different things, right? But, bro, man, Chud's hurt a lot of people, man. And what Chud was out there doing is totally unnecessary and not cool. And, he almost dude. Bro. He literally has videos saying that he wanted to, he wanted this to happen. He wanted to get the opportunity to kill that dude and get off. And we're supporting that. In my eyes, Chud's a different type of evil. That's some demonic evilness, right? But if you're donating $10,000, and so that's why I'm not gonna, bro, if someone makes a video essay on me, being JiDion been associated with Alex and stuff, I'm a realist, y'all. I'm a realist. I can see stuff for what it is. When Josh was saying what he was saying, like, I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to be mad. I have been associating with Alex and stuff like that, right? Like, there's no way to beat around the bush with that. The same way I've been associated with Alex, all you guys knew about all the stuff that he was saying on Twitter and stuff, you know? And, you know, definitely, I feel like we all had a breaking point. And some people's breaking point was at the stuff that he said on Twitter. But, like, I feel like for me and a lot of other people now, it's like donating $10,000 to Chud when you're doing so much more important work, but you're going viral for that. No.
This guy, Alex Rosen, has a long history of being as far edgy as you could possibly consider somebody to be, if you even want to call him that. Like, a lot of people would label him as racist, and understandably so, to be honest. But with this guy, he worked with him for a very long time, and he knew what it was, but now JiDion's talking about, well, the money that he gave up was the breaking point. I think if JiDion just said, yeah, him donating money, that offends me, because I'm also black, and that was Chud's like target demo that he was trying to make an example out of, I think that would have been a better explanation, because you're pocket watching the dude about 15 bands of his money that he spent. You're like, oh, that could have gone here or here. You could pull up a ton of things that JiDion has probably spent money on that could have gone elsewhere. So the whole like, yo, you should have spent your money on this like Alex Rosen, as disgusting as the cause he's supporting in, he is supporting a cause that he believes in, which is, quote, free speech, which that's not what Chud was doing. Chud was one of the worst nuisance. He's like a Johnny Somali, except significantly worse. But Alex Rosen, he would go even further. So this is why I think JiDion would come back and explain this again several weeks later. Alex Rosen would show up to Chud the Builder's court hearing where they were trying to get him bond because a company, a gambling company, which I will not name because I'm not giving them promo, they said they were down to put up the $100,000 or whatever to get Chud out. Because his bail was $1.5 million. Well, Alex Rosen pulls up and he even explains that he's willing to put up not only the $15,000 that he donated, because they're not allowing him to use any of the money that was donated for his bail. He's willing to put up $100,000.
Would you state and spell your name for Madam Court Reporter, or Madam Court Reporters, I should say?
Yes, Alex, A-L-E-X, and last name is Rosen, R-O-S-E-N.
Thank you, Mr. Rosen. Your Honor, pass the witness a couple of stacks of documents.
I think something needs to be on the record.
Yes, sir.
I noticed your T-shirt.
Yes, sir.
Did you go to school there?
No, sir. I travel the country for work, so I just accumulate college T-shirts, but I'm not college educated.
That's my alma mater.
Nice.
Just want everybody to go on the front end. And, that's where I went to college, Sanford University, Wyland, Alabama. I say roll tide. All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Rosen, I've passed you a few stacks of documents. Can you tell the court what those are?
Yes, sir. So this document right here would be currently what's in my savings account on my Bank of America banking app. That is who I bank with. And then this right here, if you were to scroll through the pages, would be my Cash App statements that, for the most part, get deposited into this bank account.
Okay. And you've got a lot of these, particularly transactions with Stripe.
Yes, sir.
In your Bank of America. Would you please tell the court what that is? What is Stripe?
So Stripe is like a payment processor. So what we do for work is we have a group, we catch online child. Oh, okay, sorry. We have a group, we catch online child predators across the country called Predator Poachers. And I'm from Houston, Texas, but we've been to all 50 states. We've helped get arrests pretty close to here, like in Rutherford County and Cheatham County, I think is how you say. So we've been literally all over the place. And yeah, so I've been doing this for 7 years since I was 19 years old. I'm 26 years old now, and I employ 20 people. And we do post our interactions online. It's similar to Chris Hansen's To Catch a Predator. And Obviously, what you post online will get pretty censored a lot of the time. So we have a website called locals.com where you can post basically the uncensored interactions where you don't have to bleep out choice words or graphic things that the president might have said to the assumed child. So on Locals, people sign up. They pay a small subscription fee every month, and we have about 17,000 give or take paying members on there right now, paying anywhere from $5 to $10 a month. So obviously over the years that's accumulated, and we've certainly been blessed with the work we've put in. So
when you have this $2,300 deposit from Strike, that's just your membership fees or?
Yes, so people sign up throughout the month. So for example, people that have signed up, let's just say on, what's today's date? June 3rd. So if they signed up like on May 3rd of
This has got to be the job that he does. Like, catching Preds must age you. This guy said he's 26 years old. This guy looks no younger than 45. I would presume. I'd presume he's at least been through a single divorce. And yeah, this is brutal. So this keeps going, and he just keeps doubling down on this. He hasn't spoken ill about JiDion, but JiDion had already severed ties with this guy, Alex Rosen. And then JiDion comes back and gives a new announcement.
With him. And I have to admit, I did. You know, I am the person to where I naively believe that people can be better. I'm the person who literally went to go meet up with the K because I think that certain members in there can actually do better. And if you watch that video with me with Tom Bowie, you will see that I feel like I've actually made a change in that man's mindset and that man's heart, and I have actually softened him. And when it comes to Alex, at first, I did not want to work with him. There's old clips of me saying how I thought he was a racist. Here's me on No Jumper in 2022 talking about Alex.
Even though I think the dude that called him was like found out to be racist or something.
Yeah, racist.
But like, you know,
and they deleted his channel too.
Yeah, I'd rather, you know, I'm glad YouTube got to him too, but like, you know, I'd rather.
But when I started doing pred catching fully in 2024, I wanted to take it more seriously. We were having issues where, you know, different DAs were dropping our cases, and I didn't want that to stand anymore. So I looked and scoured the internet, and I started watching Alex's videos. And I came to find out that he is the best out of all of us. And that still stands true today. I mean, this year alone in 2026, Alex has done over 100 pred catches. And out of those 100, he has over 70 of them arrested, which is some crazy numbers. And so I swallowed my pride and I hit him up in October of 2024 to collaborate so I could learn from him. And we collaborated, and before we even got there, I was on guard because obviously I had seen those clips before, but after hanging out with him, I came to the belief of, hey man, maybe he's really not a racist person, and maybe him hanging around me could change him.
Now, the hilarity in this situation and why I tie this back to Dave Chappelle is, if you guys remember, there was a Dave Chappelle, I think it was one of his Netflix specials. It was years ago. I don't know if it was the 2017 one or it was one of them, but it was the one that I think he was doing it about Bill Cosby. And the setup of the joke was, hey, you know, there's this superhero and he saves, but he also grapes, and he needs to grape in order to save. So he's like, yeah, you know, he needs to touch some women before he can go in and do like save a burning building or something like that. And you got to watch the special for it to really hit home. I'm not a comedian. I'm not funny. I understand. Trust me. I know I'm not funny. So the reason why it's so funny is because we're getting the manifestation of this with JiDion. JiDion's like, yeah, you know, we did. This guy's got like a 70% hit rate. He's like prime KD from the field goal. But when it comes to catching Preds and, you know, saving the kids, but he donated $15,000 and he's also really racist. Now, specifically about Alex Rosen, I don't know if he's actually racist, because think about it like this. And this is also the funny part with JiDion's clip when he talks about he went to meet like a Triple K leader. The Triple K leader was less racist than Chud the Builder, which is ironic, right? Because think about, if you've watched that video with him, the guy pretty much lives in a only white people town, isolated from everybody else. And he's like, yeah, I hate these people and I don't want them anywhere near me. And they're nowhere near him. And that's it. So he's not necessarily causing physical or putting physical harm on anybody else. Chud would go out, find people and harass them, antagonize them, and yell at them. So he was significantly worse, and he shot one. I don't think the leader of the Triple K, the guy that JiDion met with, ever shot somebody or harmed somebody like that. He was just like, hey, keep them away from me. So yes, they are both racist. Chud for sure. And the Triple K leader, he's self-admittedly racist. But clearly one has a way worse outcome on society. And I would say we can all agree Chud is worse, right? So bringing Alex Rosen into this, it's like, well, if Alex Rosen is supporting this guy, and let's say Alex Rosen was also a Chud type, you would think that he would only be going after black Preds, because that would support his theory or his like racist ideology. Like, it wouldn't make sense for him to go after, I don't know, white, Asian, and Hispanic Preds that he's caught. He would specifically target an overwhelming majority to be a black Preds that he was catching. Yet he didn't do that. Now, I don't know. That's like the only bail that I could possibly cut the guy, Alex Rosen. But what he said is crazy, and him defending Chud is even crazier. But circling back to JiDion, he's saying, yeah, you know, Alex, he saves kids, and he's got a crazy field goal percentage, but he donated money to Chud. And that's the Dave Chappelle joke. He's like, yeah, you know, he saves, but, and granted, the Dave Chappelle joke is significantly worse, because like graping, we can agree, is worse than donating money to this guy Chud, because he still is quote unquote innocent until proven guilty. It's just that we've seen so much, and this is the thing when people talk about, yo, Chud was right. Dog, Chud has been streaming for over a year. It might have been a year and a half. He's been doing this for a year and a half. Think about how many people he's not only run into, how many black people he's run into, tried to antagonize, said the most heinous things possible. And it took over a year and a half for him to finally get into a physical altercation. That should be the most anti-racism proof you could ever get. It's like, yo, this guy was trying to get into an altercation and it didn't even happen for so long. And I don't think it happened until the courthouse situation. And after that guy skipped out on a meal, let's also talk about that. This guy skipped out on paying a meal. That's how they even got an arrest warrant on him. And this guy's got a criminal record. So this guy's behaving significantly worse than anybody else. And he's trying to do it under the mantle of free speech, which is just goofy. Like, you have to be like 13 or 14 to think that this guy actually represents free speech in any capacity whatsoever. And JiDion was right in saying that this guy let off shots, and he was talking about how he wanted to lay somebody out, and that could have been anybody. That could have been a kid that got shot. It's not uncommon from all the stories we've seen in Chicago, especially, of gang members getting into shootouts where an innocent baby just dies. An innocent woman just gets shot because these people are doing it in broad day out in public. So Chud was one of the worst public, not even nuisances. This guy was a danger to society, and I hope they find any reason to keep him locked up. And I understand JiDion separating himself, but I think he just gave like a BS reason. I don't even think he needs a reason. He needs to say like, yo, this was the breaking point, and that's that. Not, oh, the money could have gone somewhere else better. Like, dog, come on now. Like, how many people are splashing $50K on an AP, and that $50K could have gone somewhere else? Like, when you start pocket watching like that, where people are moving their money, I think that's ridiculous. And is him donating, does that harm how that Alex Rosen dude does his job? No, it doesn't. So the reasoning that JiDion gave, I think he just needed to throw something out there. And I think, my honest opinion, his fiance was pushing him towards making this decision more so than he was himself. I think he would have just defended it and said, listen, whatever he's got going over there, we just work together. We work and catch Preds, and whatever he does on his own time, that's what he does on his own time, and I don't co-sign that. In the same way that he wasn't co-signing this guy ripping any slur you could think of, that Alex Rosen, and saying the craziest things you could imagine on his X page. And he's out and loud about it. And the other angle for this is that this guy, Alex Rosen, he did help JiDion when JiDion was in a tight time. JiDion was averaging a couple hundred viewers less. He was averaging double-digit viewers at times on stream, lighting menorahs, celebrating Hanukkah, and reading the Bible. Yes, you're hearing me correct. He was lighting menorahs and celebrating Hanukkah with Bible study. Listen, I'm no theologian. Don't ask me, but you can look it up. And his career had suffered when he went through this whole like very religious phase, because he was an entertainer. And now him going, that's just a 180 in content. It's very difficult to make that work. And I think he just he separates those things. I know he's still a God. I'm pretty sure he's still a Christian, but he just pulled back on that. But for him to come back, he came back full-fledged into the pred catching stuff, and now he's bigger than he's ever been. And the person that's helped him with that a lot and put him onto a lot of game was Alex Rosen. So Alex Rosen kind of helped turn him up and help him not just career-wise, but with being able to take these people down. And now JiDion's making significantly more money from this stuff than he ever was when he was even doing the entertainment videos and pranks. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about the situation. I understand JiDion separating from that guy, and I think people that are just trying to come at JiDion when this was all going on and saying like, yo, you got to separate from this guy, you got anything to say about this, are quite disingenuous and just trying to get him in an uncomfortable situation. Because if you support what JiDion is doing and you think he's doing a good thing, you don't care who he's doing it with if the crimes and the criminals that they're catching are significantly worse than the words that his business partner, quote unquote, is saying on the internet. But hey, he saves kids, he locks up preds, but he supports Chud the Builder. I don't know what Dave Chappelle would give for an answer on that one, but I'm going to leave you guys with that one. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed, and I'm going to see you on the next one.